Saturday morning. We've had a cool spell here. It's down to 76, but it's almost 8 o'clock and that won't last long. So while it's cool, I'm gonna grab my gauges and my other can of dust off and hopefully finish the AC in my truck and then clean up the mess from the Honda. Alright, let's see what the gauges say now. 76, 32, and 135-ish, 140. Let's let it run a minute and see what happens. Alright, I added probably half a can. I might have to call in somebody who knows what in the world they're doing here. Now the low side's 30, high side 150. High side needle is fluctuating just a little. Can't understand why you add more and its pressures are lower. But it's sweating pretty good. Real good, in fact. It's like 75 here in the shade. Maybe a little less. Maybe it's good. I don't know. Feels nice and cool inside the truck. The gauge says 48 or something like that. Focus camera. I don't know. I'm gonna play with it some more and see what I see. I guess maybe because the truck warmed up, everything's getting warmer. The pressure's up to 45 and 235. Now I wonder if I ain't got too much in it. But it's making good water. That's cold. I don't know. We'll see how it acts. I gotta believe it's in the ballpark anyway. 40, 200. Cold. It feels cold inside the truck. I'm gonna leave it alone. Well, I think the old dually, the dually's good. And let's see, I got the wife says after I did the brake job, she drove it 2 miles and something started grinding, so that's not good. I gotta go see what that is. Maybe I screwed up something, or maybe the back brake pads are wore out. What you doing?
Putting air in the tire. Taking air out, actually.
Why?
Because I put a little bit much in there.
Hear that tone of voice? She's already mad with me this morning.
No, I'm not.
She said, "I'm not one of your guys at work."
Well, I did say that because you were getting ornery with me because I asked questions.
How many?
28.
That's about right.
32 in the front, 28 back here.
I've been fighting with this thermostat housing. I have had this thing off here 3 times. Every time I put it back together, it leaks. Now you'd think I could figure out how to make a thermostat housing not leak. I put a new one on it, and it leaked twice. The old one leaked. So I took a file and filed that thing, made sure it was flat. It was a little bit warped. I cleaned this super well, and I've used some blue RTV, which I almost never do. And I'm gonna see if it seals up this time. If it doesn't, I'm hauling the whole blasted thing to the junkyard.
No, you ain't neither.
Oh, okay. I could sit and watch you work all day.
Oh, I bet you could. I could sit and watch you work all day.
Well, I'm not as good looking as you are. By the way, there wasn't nothing wrong with the Honda except a bent dust brake shield. I straightened that back out. It's just fine.
It has a very slight noise. But
It's got 160,000 miles on it. Don't worry about it. Turn the radio up. Alright, while the RTV is skinning up, I need to put a new ignition switch on the lawnmower. Well, that was easy. Let's see if it works. Well, it didn't work. When it rains, it pours, seems like. The other one, the switch wouldn't go to the start position. Now I got a new switch in, and it appears the solenoid is bad. I jumped it across there, and the start terminal, and it don't do nothing. As I was saying, when it rains, it pours. That fell off. It was making connection, though. Well, I gave up on the lawnmower. It's so darn hot out there. I put a new solenoid on it. Still won't turn over with the key. But it's got juice to the start terminal. I don't know what the heck. I put a used one on it I had. That didn't work. Put a new one on it. That didn't work. What I need to do is get in here where it's a little cooler and think it over, but I'm done with it today. So I'm gonna go back outside. Even though it's hot, I'm kind of in the shade right there, and button up my thermostat housing, fill the radiator back up and see if that leaks. If that leaks, I'm calling it a day. Alright, it's all buttoned back up. Full of antifreeze. Why did it do that? I swear that looks like a little wet spot right there. Anyway, I'm gonna crank it up, let it warm up, and see what happens. If it's leaking this time, the manifold must be cracked or something. Although, I don't think it leaked before I started messing with it. Alright, look here. That joker's leaking. You know what I just discovered? Look over here. Right below that plug, there's a little trickle. I'm gonna tighten that plug up. You know, maybe that was my trouble the whole time. And I've been fixing the wrong thing like an idiot. Which is possible. Now, it doesn't look like it's leaking now. I've wiped up what little water was there. I'm gonna let it run a while. It isn't all the way warmed up yet. That's a pipe thread. A pipe thread is tapered, so the more you tighten it, the tighter the threads press against what you're threading it into. Ordinarily, you don't have to get that stuff. You got to put a pipe bar on it to get it tight. But I have seen the time. I bought some these Chinese pipe fittings. I was putting an airline together in the garage, and they just would not seal. They're just poorly made. Maybe that's what I run into here. But I even had Teflon on my threads. I don't know. By the way, here's my coffee from this morning. Still pretty hot. It is hot out here. Well, it's been running a few minutes. Let's see what it feels like inside the truck. It's pretty cozy. Says like 58. Let me rev it a little and see what happens. It's getting noticeably cooler with a little RPM. I bet I got it idling at 1200, 1500 RPM. It idles very slowly with the AC on. I bet it's 700 RPM. We're up to operating temp. As I think about it, I had two. One read much higher than the other. It feels pretty comfortable in here. Not as cold as my new truck, but new work truck, but pretty comfortable. So it's definitely up to operating temperature, and it does not appear to be leaking. It also occurs to me that this does not have in the heater hose a valve to stop flow to the heater core. I bet you that is affecting how much it cools. I need to add one of those. Look there, I found one. Let me see if it's any good. Not any good. We can throw that right in the trash can. Seized up and pretty crusty.